Hey guys, Ryan Biddulph here, blogging from paradise. Excuse the Kathleen Turner type voice. Today we're going to talk about one blogging assumption that needs to go, and this one works beautifully with my latest ebook, 8 Dangerous Assumptions to Make About Successful Bloggers. So if you haven't grabbed that yet, you could pick it up on Amazon.com or on bloggingfromparadise.com. One of my latest posts, but if you're seeing this video later, you could find it under bloggingfromparadise.com/ebooks, where I categorize everything. This assumption has to go. It's a dangerous blogging assumption because anytime you make an assumption of an established pro blogger, these are usually the dangerous assumptions, of course. The dangerous assumptions are 100% of the time totally untrue horse shit. They're bullshit. They're not true. They're lies. So when you assume something, you instantly put a pair of cyber handcuffs on. This means, okay, Ryan succeeded. He's an established pro blogger. That's because he's lucky. Like some cosmic fairy came down and sprinkled some dust on me, and I went from being an unemployed broke security guard with 4 cents and being $70,000 in debt. Imagine what it's like not to know where your next meal is coming from or where you're going to live because you have 4 cents and you're $70,000 in debt. Was I lucky then? Did the cosmic fairy not visit me? If not, cosmic fairy. Now, of course I wasn't. But when you release stuff like that, or that it's easy, comes easy to me, or I'm a natural, I'm talented, it just comes so easy, then you, wow, I look tired, can stop making the same assumption for yourself. That, well, I'll only succeed if I'm lucky, I'm only succeed if I'm gifted or if I'm connected. How about building connections over a decade? Kind of works. Or talented, or any of this stuff. You release that horse shit for yourself, those lies, and then you're free to succeed, because then you could start following your passion, you could practice your skills, you can own your craft by honing your craft. And that's the type of energy that you want to infuse into your meat suit to really kill it. But the one assumption that has to go is that successful bloggers who are established pros who you look at and you're like, if you look at me on video and you're like, man, I see so many of these other folks, it's like stiff. There's a video with Alonzo Pichardo, my main man, my friend, web designer extraordinaire, phenomenal guy. And I don't check, the latest screenshot I saw, after 3 days, we have 20,000 views on our video on YouTube. That's Alonzo Pichardo. If you look up Ryan Biddulph, Alonzo Pichardo interview, you're going to see me and him gabbing, and 20,000. I don't even know where it's at now. That was last night after 3 days. Like, how do you get that type of views without it being like some manipulative, garbage? It is two real people speaking from an authentic space about some cool stuff. And he has a huge subscriber base, but you gotta have energy. Something's gotta happen for it to happen. So you look at me and you're like, man, he's so this or that, or he's so gifted, it comes so easy for him in writing, and he's a machine. And yeah, so many folks who are entrepreneurs, like a guy like Alonzo, he knows what went into it, because he's been a thriving entrepreneur for a decade. So he knows the drill. Guys like David Boozer, folks like Donna Merrill, they know because they've taken the journey. But so many other bloggers, the ones that are really struggling and failing, and even people who are kind of successful who've hit a quote-unquote, they've hit a plateau. They haven't. It's a mental block. All plateaus are mental blocks. They're not true. They're not there. They're illusions. They're ghosts. Although ghosts may be real, but they're illusions. They're ghosts. They're Caspers. No, I'm sorry. That could be real. But the folks that do a smash-up job, they release these assumptions quickly, and the ones that are struggling blogging-wise, they're really having a difficult time, they cling to assumptions that are dangerous, that are untrue. And one of the biggest ones is, for an established pro blogger, and I get it myself a lot, it's easy for them. Of course they succeed. It's easy. But every single pro blogger I've met who's really made it, they've gone through some deep struggles in their lives. So there's points sometimes for years, like for me, for years it was not easy. For many years of my life, it was a horrible struggle. Again, 8 cents, $70,000 in debt. Or 4 cents, 4 pennies in my wallet. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Where am I going to eat? How am I going to eat? I'd walk 3 hours to the library. One day I remember, because I couldn't afford anything. I didn't have anything. $5, $10 here or there. and it was minus 15 out in New Jersey, and I walked 3 hours to the library. And this is during my struggling days. It's not like I'm going there to set up set up tweets for my 51,000 Twitter followers. You know, my 60,000 member following. I'm not going there to broadcast a post, to publish a post and send it out to my list and promote my 124. No, 126 ebooks. No, these are nightmare days. These are the days when I'd walk 3 hours to a library at minus 15 degrees to copy and paste my squeeze page for a network marketing opportunity to 300 plus Facebook groups for like 3 hours. And this is what happens. This is the journey for most of us. But if you have an image of me now and living in Fiji, and oh my God, look at him in Koh Lanta. He's so lucky. It came easy. It's easy. He's a natural. Yeah. Was I a natural when I had 4 cents? Was I a natural when I was, you know, crying and just angry that I'd run into struggles, that I'm not making any money through my blog for 8 months or for, you know, over a year, and just sitting there and being like, what the fuck am I? Like, where am I going? I have no money. I have nothing to eat. I have like so little. Like, was I lucky then? Was I gifted? Was it easy? Was it comfortable? You look at the journey, you don't realize how uncomfortable it was for us established pro bloggers almost across the board. And then for a lot of folks that are really shining, that have the energy and the prolific nature, that have released so many deep fears because they've embraced them, we had it not worst, but we had to release some deep terrors that most human beings don't release. And that's why you see the authenticity in me. That's why you see the naturalness. That's why you see the practice, you see the skills, you see the commitment, you see the writing, the video, more videos, more live videos, more guest posts, more. Not because I'm doing it from a place of terror and desperation, but because I've released the fears largely of criticism, of failure, of running out of everything. And since I'm not saddled by those fears, this is the creative dynamo you see today. This is the person that stays up late to make sure his post is all set up. And I just placed a Facebook ad on my, no, Facebook ad, well, it goes right to Messenger, but an ad on my blog that I'm going to receive cash for. It's one income stream. And I'm checking that out, making sure it works okay, emailing the individual from the company, the advertising company. And I think years ago how much I would have freaked out when placing the ad, because I had so much fear around money and around loss, and how uncomfortable it would have been for me. Oh my God. Is it working okay? I want to make sure it's okay. There was so much discomfort because there was so much discord, because there was so much fear around everything really in my life. So those were not easy times, and they were not comfortable times. Were they necessary? Did I have to struggle for that? Like, no, I resisted my fears. But I did. And here's what you see today. So perfect place, perfect time. I'm not telling you to struggle for 10 years and then you could, or not 10 years, struggle for like 5 or 6 or 7 years and then you could succeed. Unnecessary. But letting go of this assumption is something that most people need to do, because it's something that holds them back. Because you're like, I'll never succeed. Ryan's never faced what I had to face. Do you know what it's like to have 4 pennies and be $70,000 in debt? Do you know what it's like to sell everything? Sell your apartment, sell your beautiful BMW. Sell my apartment, let go of my apartment, leave it. Do you know what it's like to sell? Do you know what it's like to have some clothes? And most people never go there. And then you're making an assumption that's easy for me. This is a killer, because you're not going to speak to a lot of hyper successful folks who share this stuff. Some do. A handful do, but a lot, all you hear is about the beautiful victories. And you've seen it. I've been on Virgin, I've been on Forbes, I've traveled the world, I've lived in Fiji. Post the travel post or travel page I'm going to publish today. You're going to see 4 of the most pristine places I've ever lived. And it's a dream. It's just the nicest, sweetest dream. Sabu Sabu, Fiji. Lived there for 4 months. Gorgeous. Koh Lanta, Thailand. Buena Vista, Costa Rica. What's the 4th one? Lotundu, Bali. Terima kasih. Sama-sama. Learning my little Bahasa Indonesian. But you think of like me sitting here speaking Indonesian, living in these gorgeous places for so long, and then there's an image that it's easy because I've experienced it. It was not. And you have to let it go, and it's so dangerous, because as long as you keep assuming that luck, ease, being connected, all this other stuff just flows to guys like me, established pro bloggers, in a comfortable, seamless way, but it won't happen that way for you, then you'll always struggle. because you'll have this image. It's luck. It just comes easy. The only reason I succeed is if I get lucky. This is what you're telling yourself if you make an assumption. Or these basic core assumptions. If it comes easily to me, if I'm a natural, if I'm connected, just the ebook is helpful, guys, because it will bring up a lot of muck that most people don't want to face. People who've bought it are just really psyched about it because it's showing them their blind spots. We all have them. I have plenty of blind spots still, but in the assumptions, I know I don't make any assumptions about folks. It comes easily to John Chow. No, I remember reading last week how he had been totally broke. He was living with his parents and just struggling like hell in the beginning. So the guy was making $30,000 in the morning. Not that way. It goes that way for most of us. Most of us are not immune to this, guys. We have to experience it. The shit. At least for a little bit, because you have to clear that fear out to become the dynamos that you see. The people who are all over the place. The people who are getting in close to the camera. The folks who write and self-publish 126 ebooks that receive the Amazon royalty payments, royalty checks for KDP Select, that receive the Amazon Associates. See how the money flows in? You got so in love with giving and with it following your passion and detaching from outcomes because you, and outcomes too, you embraced and felt the horrors and the terrors that most people don't face, and that's why you shine the brightest for other folks. See how it kind of works? The people you think that are luckiest, the most gifted or most talented, they felt and experienced some really difficult times because they did. They chose to go there. And that's why they're so successful now. It's almost like a springboard. It's almost like a trampoline. And you see someone and they're down and then you hit the bottom and boom, right back up. Except the folks that have let go of the fears, it's different, the analogy, because we just keep going up. Stuff happens, but you're like, whatever. I've seen that, you know, I've purged out so many fears, so when something comes up in your life, the fear's not there anymore. And that's why you gotta let go of this assumption. Because when you do, you realize, oh, it has nothing to do with it. They followed their passion, they dove into some really terrifying fears and felt them, and it was tough. They had some really tough times, but then they kept following their passion, practicing their skills, these bloggers, building their network by generously promoting other people, promoting their content across a wide range of channels, like guest posting, and sharing their value with a big base of interested readers. And then from there, what happens? Success finds them. It wasn't hard work. It wasn't even smart work. It was energetic joy. It was doing what I'm doing for the passion and the fun of it. But I had to clear out some stuff during some deep years, the deep dark years. Some really did it have to be year. It was perfect time, perfect place for me, always. But for you, if you're making this assumption that it comes easy or everything's comfortable for pro bloggers, you got to let it go. Because then when you let it go, you'll start experiencing some really uneasy, unpleasant situations, almost like clockwork, because you have to clear out those fears to become this bright dynamo that shines for everybody. But then you'll see success flowing to you more swiftly, and you'll notice markers. Oh, cool. Whatever it is, my first blog comment. You know, 100 people visited my blog today. Wow, let me get this income idea. Or you have the income streams open, and you start making money through different streams. And then you realize, I get it. I had to release the idea that it comes easily to them, and that's the only way I'm going to succeed if I'm a natural. I'm a natural creating videos after creating 3,000 plus videos. I'm a natural at writing after spending years of my life writing 1,000 to 10,000 or 20,000 words a day. Why do I do those things? Why have I done it? Because I'm passionate about it. I'm doing it primarily for my passion, for the fun, for the love. So guys, we're going to roll. We got Leah watch today. My niece is here, baby narwhal. The call to action: own this fear. Own this assumption, this dangerous assumption. You assume it about another blogger. They're established, they're pro, it comes easy to them. I'm sure the journey was very comfortable. When you let that go, you're free to succeed. You're free to dive. You realize that, okay, I've been making the excuse that I'm not succeeding with my blog because it should come easy to me. It should be a comfortable journey. Okay, I know it's going to get really thick. It's been thick already. I know it's going to be really uncomfortable, but these guys say you have to go into things you love doing, which will sometimes be really uncomfortable and really freeing. And then you start to say, oh, they've gone through the same struggles that I'm going through. And they had a lot worse. So, okay, now I'm free to succeed. I realize they worked. Now I'm going to work. And I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm going to succeed. Going to go, guys. Bye. if you haven't picked it up yet, 8 Dangerous Assumptions to Make About Successful Bloggers on Amazon. And while you're in there, why not grab a couple more? I have 124 ebooks on Amazon and 2 on sales. So buy a couple more, enjoy them, share them with your friends. Share my ebooks with your friends. They're really helpful, practical reads. To build a successful blog, like 60 of them, that I have a lot of entertaining travel ones, digital nomad ones for making money online, inspirational ones. All that, this energy, this energetic juice that's gone into creating this phenomenal life of retiring to an island hopping through smart blogging is in there. Share this video with your friends too, guys. Friends too, guys. Your friends too, guys. No coffee yet. I had to dive right into it. We got to roll now. Got Baby Narwhal watch. Until next time, enjoy paradise. Thank you so much for the love, everybody.